The relationship between science and religion has long been a topic of debate, with many scientists attempting to convince Christians that God is not real. On the surface, this may seem like an attack on a deeply held belief system, but there are underlying reasons for this phenomenon. At its core, the scientific community's skepticism towards the existence of God stems from the fundamental principles of scientific inquiry and the pursuit of empirical evidence. One primary reason scientists may try to convince Christians that God is not real is due to the perceived incompatibility between scientific theory and religious dogma. Science relies on testable hypotheses, empirical evidence, and peer review to establish the validity of a claim, whereas religious beliefs often rely on faith and scripture. This dichotomy can lead scientists to view religious claims as untestable and therefore unscientific. For instance, the concept of creationism, which posits that the universe was created by a divine being, is often seen as incompatible with the scientific theory of evolution, which is supported by overwhelming empirical evidence. Scientists may view attempts to reconcile these two perspectives as a threat to the integrity of scientific inquiry. Another reason scientists may attempt to convince Christians that God is not real is the historical conflict between science and religion. Throughout history, scientific discoveries have often been met with resistance from religious authorities. The persecution of Galileo, the condemnation of Darwin's theory of evolution, and the opposition to stem cell research are just a few examples of the long-standing tension between science and religion. This history of conflict has led many scientists to view religion as an obstacle to scientific progress, and they may see convincing Christians that God is not real as a way to remove this perceived obstacle. Furthermore, scientists may also be motivated by a desire to promote critical thinking and skepticism. Many scientists believe that the acceptance of religious claims without empirical evidence can lead to a lack of critical thinking and a susceptibility to pseudoscience. By encouraging Christians to question their beliefs and consider alternative explanations, scientists hope to promote a more nuanced and evidence-based understanding of the world. This is not to say that scientists are inherently anti-religious, but rather that they believe that a critical evaluation of evidence is essential for scientific progress and personal growth. It's also important to note that not all scientists are anti-religious, and many scientists are themselves religious. However, the scientific community as a whole is driven by a commitment to empirical evidence and testable hypotheses. When scientists encounter claims that are not supported by evidence, they are naturally skeptical. This skepticism is not unique to religious claims, but rather is a fundamental aspect of the scientific method. Scientists apply the same level of skepticism to claims of paranormal activity, homeopathy, and other pseudoscientific phenomena. In recent years, the near-atheist movement, led by scientists such as Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris, has been particularly vocal in its criticism of religious beliefs. This movement argues that religious beliefs are not only unsupported by evidence but also morally and intellectually bankrupt. While this movement has been criticized for its stridency and intolerance, it reflects a deeper concern among scientists that religious beliefs can be used to justify harm and oppression. Ultimately, the attempt by scientists to convince Christians that God is not real reflects a complex interplay of historical, philosophical, and cultural factors. While it may be seen as an attack on deeply held beliefs, it is also a reflection of the scientific community's commitment to empirical evidence and critical thinking. By promoting a nuanced and evidence-based understanding of the world, scientists hope to foster a more rational and informed public discourse, even if it means challenging deeply held religious beliefs.